way this cost this going?
Well, it's deja vu, wasn't it? McGovern intercept mark, takes the game on, goes to take that aggressive kick and aggressive movement, and then turns it over. Hawthorn should be 2 goals in front.
Early goals away from home, so
crucial, absolutely crucial. And just there was no need to play on, go off the line.
Ryan finding himself running all over the ground these days.
And it's high up the ground, isn't he?
Get it back here, trying to give some drive. The kick, though, is shallow. Jaff can intercept. Yo gives chase. Jaff will send it long. Barris trying to recover. Got hands to it. McGovern back there. Eagles defence under the pump to start. Hoff with it. Trying to kick around the body. It was touched off the boot. Bounce important. Kept in well by Moore. Now Ginnivan on the burst. Bellies it. High ball across the face. They'll get underneath it. Barris from the side. Terrific mark.
Well, that's the 3rd intercept mark in their D50. Barris with 1 and Jeremy McGovern with 2. Hawthorn to get the opportunities, but
golden opportunities.
Not making the most of them.
They must score. They've had shoulders out. They've had players everywhere. It's having a bit of impact the scoreboard.
Duggan told to go. Barris, he's amazing. Just keeps on keeping on. Chesser breaks free. Had options outside. Waterman on the move. Poke pass. Is that going to work? Sicily read his eyes, and Sicily's been in great form as well. Took 15 marks last game and 33 possessions against Richmond. Been dominant. Newcomb got to kick it to where Sicily ain't. We're going to play against Hawthorn. Hardwick. Their swing man normally plays at both ends at different stages. To Frost. Scrimshaw. He's got empty if he wants in. He wants to bite off a bit more than that. And he bites it off beautifully to Dylan Moore.
Like he gets a run. Impey hooks it to half forward, spoiled by McGovern. Committed to it. McKenzie's handball excellent to Newcomb. Wallaby wobbling. Oh, kick inside 50. Bouncing ball. Child able to gather. And then he hooks it back across to Jaff. Good vision. Sharing it around nicely. And it will be a set shot coming up for the Hawks.
Yeah, they had an outnumber again inside their forward 50. They've just had golden opportunities left, right and centre. The Hawks. Great ball use this from Child because entitled to potentially blaze away, but he had enough time. You can see his eyes there. Really good off-ball running as well. Golden opportunity. I have to take this.
Needed that quality, didn't they? Just that moment of quality. Right, Marbior hooks inside.
Yeah, number 51. Just the 3 goals through his career. Or as a defender, excellent finish. He shows them how to do it, and the Hawks get the first of the game.
We might be seeing the start of how this game's going to run, the intercept game. James Sicily, of course, taking intercept to start this playoff. They've had repeat entries, Hawthorn, and it's 5 inside 50s to none. They were going to make the most of it at some point. We saw that kick from Marbior, but McGovern and Barris dominant at one end, Sicily the other. Wonder who can quell the difference of both those players.
It's great off-ball running from your winger, though, isn't it? The wingers are there to defend, keep you with, but they're also there to attack and make a score. That's a brilliant run. Nice creative work.
Being knocked around by injury this year. Chanku Jaff, 6th game of the season. Back in the middle, Mick will be more comfortable here than Flynn. Back to what was his own holding deck for a while. Day, Newcomb, down the spine, a little wider maybe than Ginnivan hoped he'd go. Gee, delayed that for a second. Barris was cooked by Dunstan, who crept up behind him in the hush puppies. Ginnivan again, doing Ginnivan kind of things.
Back in. Incoming 5 metres back. You're on the mark. Come back on.
Dunstan.
Stand. Jack,
amazing career. 466 goals. 3 Hawthorn premierships. A BNF, an All-Australian. Turns 33 in October. He's found a bit of form. Well, he had found a bit of form. Hasn't kicked quite as accurately this season as some of the others. 466, 282 career, but 14-14 this year. Been watching that match up closely. He's playing in behind Tom Barris. Barris sometimes plays back shoulder, but definitely it's a tactic by Jack to start in behind him.
Hawks could be 3 or 4 up already. They've had some opportunities. Eagles yet to have it inside 50. Darling able to spoil it down. Reed trying to fight it to pick up. Power his way back through. He's dispossessed in the tackle. Locked in underneath.
He's going to be on the ball.
And trying to get it out. Kelly has to get up to Newcomb.
Just dominating the forward half play here, aren't they? They're set up so well behind the ball, the Hawks.
Barris here off the ball.
Newcomb just pulled the kick in for Joel. Knocked down. The Eagles did enough to get there. Meek trying to find it. Ginnivan on his knees. And taken over the line by Cole.
That's the type of kick into the forward 50 they're going to have to do all day, the Hawks. If they're held up, if it's slow play, you can't just kick it on the forward's head or to the advantage of McGovern and Barris, because they'll just roll off all day. That one where it drew Child to the ball is exactly what they have to do. It also brings the Crummers in.
Dominating the time in forward half to start the Hawks. Away from home. It begun well, and as Hoff's taken to ground.
That's what Will Schofield you were talking about. Look at Gunston there. He's actually drawing right back behind the goals.
Reed to Jimby. Moore. Almost infringing over the shoulder. Reed went over the top. Moore went back in. McGovern had it stolen off his boot. The magic there from Watson. And he goes back in to find it again, this time taken high. A bigger player. Young in.
Reed and Watson.
Yeah, they know each other well, don't they?
That's from junior footy.
Keen to get stuck into each other out there on the big stage.
Oh, this is just a forward. Knowing what's a free kick and what's not.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like to talk about the shrugging the shoulders and leading with your head, but he went in harder there. He knew the big ruckman was going to be throwing arms about, and he got the free kick.
Played it really well. Spot on, Scully.
Some promising form in the VFL. We're only spot back in the senior team. His kicking and finishing has been an issue though. 1 goal 4 in his last game. 5-15 for the season. The Hawks have missed some opportunities early. And there's another one. And again, doesn't make the distance, but there's a block paid. And the free kick's going to go to the Hawks. The Eagles have it covered, but Barris blocked Gunston on the line. And it turns into a free kick to Jack Gunston.
It's a definite tactic to go in behind Tom Barris.
And Gunston steps out and misses.
Wow, they've had some opportunities, haven't they, the Hawks? So Mitchell, we want to keep his cool because they're doing so much right. Here's the block. Barris and Gunston, I'm not sure that's a free kick. Scully looks like he was just holding his ground more than shepherding or blocking him out the way, but
Been a bizarre start. You know what's going to happen? Hunt. I'll get a quick transition and I'll get a goal here. The West Coast. Outline. Chesser gets and goes. Waterman, the lead up to the wing. Crowd starting to roar.
actually got an outnumber here, the Eagles inside their forward 50. Flynn and Williams have come off the bench or drifted forward.
Sets it up for the Leapers. Who's going to be the guy goes up? Meek got up with a fist. Jones braced for contact and Harvick wrapped him up. We'll get a ball up.
It's a lot of numbers there. It's a big transition by Holyfield. Jake Waterman's work rate was elite to get that first outlet.
Hands down, Yo. After it. Well, not to give away the free kick. Aim on towards the boundary line. And insufficient intent to call. Even was in the vicinity. It was always headed towards the boundary and they've been pinged.
Just getting smashed in the contested possessions at the moment.
Colt will drive it in, looking for a tall target. Hawks do well, knock it down. Chesser, front and centre, snap away. It was always to the near side. Eagles' first score is a behind. Hawks 1-1-7. Certainly could be a fair bit further ahead given the opportunities they've had.
Yeah, contest and clearance. That's where the Hawks are getting it done at the moment, right on top.
Amon strolled away. Good Churl as the target. He was 4 deep. Couldn't get there to attempt the mark. Kelly, great to have him back. Again, you've got to kick it to where Sicily ain't. Been doing that all season. Hasn't had his cage rattled as much. Those that have targeted him this year as in previous seasons, James Sicily held his composure well. Meek, Moore, picking their way through them.
Yeah, it's a great build-up. It's a great build-up, Dwayne. The kick from Sicily to Meek and then Meek again. Trying to even and equalise inside their forward 50.
Newcomb, he had 26 possessions in that last win as well over Richmond. Weddle launches, Charles, goal square. Is that a grab? It is, and it's going to Barras. Last line of defence.
So, yeah, Marville there, you're probably halfway between not near the ball, but he did to start with. Tom Barras dropped off more at the very beginning of that play. Let himself to get out the back. This is a real chess piece, this game so far.
Long ball, Sicily. It's good in the air. Newcomb down low. Darling, Jimmy, lock it up.
The Sicily's the other one at the other end. He's sort of trying to get to Oscar Allen at times, playing off Jack Darling. I think he's trying to play on the highest tall eagle to go and intercept these high balls.
Hawks dominating the clearances to start. Jordan Hunt will get this one away. Well had to wait. Allen with a good spoil. Cripps set up Jones. Wrapped up by Nash.
Can't underestimate that spoil from Oscar Allen, because it looked like Weddle was going to wrap that one up and then go hard back into what has been a dominant display from the Hawks inside forward 50.
First time game of the season for Oscar Allen. Just a lot of it through injury. Nash copped the knock in the play there. Just a little stun to get back to his feet.
Talk about the matchup. So Sicily is playing on the highest. He's not going anywhere deeper than sort of half forward, if you like. He's got Oscar Allen at the moment.
10 tackles to 3 as well, just showcasing Hawthorn's intent. There's a high ball from Impey, plenty of flies, big spike away from Barras. Warple got it away, McKenzie evasive, but the kick was just a little shallow. And D'Ambrosio, now Jones can release.
Open space, Waterman's on his wing. Been owning it early. Claims he should have got 50 for encroachment in the area. Darling, Frost, hit it central though. He knew the cavalry would arrive. Scrimshaw, Allen riding him, stolen back, Darling. Sicily wraps him up. Beats his case. The Scully Houston, it's like a chess game. The Sicilian defence is a chess move. For those chess players out there.
That's definitely what I meant.
Like I thought you were. Meek holding, and Kelly was the man who was held. He'll win a free. Right now realising and enjoying the fact that he's going to get it.
Sure, Tim Kelly knew he had it either, but there is the hold of the jumper. He was, yeah, it's definitely there.
Back into the lineup this week. Kicked 8. Kicked 2-6, I should say, from 8 shots this year. It hasn't been ultra accurate. At least he's getting some shots. And that inaccuracy continues from 9 shots to 9.
At least they're getting a bit of ball inside their forward 50, the Eagles. It's looked a little better the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Coming out pretty easily though. I've seen them transition the ball well, but then they haven't been able to get repeat inside 50s like Hawthorn have at the other end.
Long down the line. Big pack up. Often spike it down with it and sitting over the top. Just spilling clear. Dug it on the boot and it'll work. Look forward to Brockman, a former Hawk playing against his old side. Yo, take it front on. We'll get the free kick against Nash. Yo sent it high and wide, but too wide.
Now, we haven't seen much of it's his first disposal for Elliot Yo-Harley-Reid with 1 touch. And dominant the Hawks midfield to this point in time. We talked about the stoppages, 5-2 at this point in time. And you get going this Eagles midfield.
The inaccuracy's been a bit weird. Perfect conditions. Frost faked to go. Crowd wanted him to be told he did go. Child goes. Now marks Jinby down the line. Tough one. And guess who? Harris. The intercept guru. Just keeps on keeping on. Tough task for Cal Shadir in game 8. Going to have to keep him out of contests. Back down the line. Ryan got up. He went up with him. Good run from Ginnivan. Not such a good kick. Well, it works to Nash. Inside. Fortune favours the brave. Newcomb, spear pass. Over the head of Watson. Half plate for the free. McDonald went down low. And went in head first on Rotherham. No free. Umpire. Good call. Jaff. Moved his way past a couple. Back to Newcomb, who spanks it long. Has he got enough on it? Did it well. Kept it away, had 2 to Pete. Kept it alive. Dunstan, inside kick to Ginnivan. He started the move. He's going to finish it. turns around. Brilliant from Ginnivan. It was the man who welcomed you at this party, and he played the piano like brilliant stuff.
It was great work from Deere to make the contest to begin with. Had an opportunity, the Hawks again with their shoulders out and players leading up to the ball carry just carried over, but it was a great contest in the follow-up work there, and then that's experience from Gunston. No blazing away, they've done it a couple of times, unselfish forward play, set up the first goal, Chol to Jas, and then Gunston this time. And smart play from the forwards.
We've seen that kick twice now, that experienced head. Chol the first time, and now Gunston setting them up for easier shots at goal. They've got the territory game sorted at the moment, Hawthorn. They're able to keep it in, repeat entries, and now they're scoring. 2 goals in front, but more opportunities than that also.
Good start to the Hawks, despite some missed opportunities. The Eagles out of the middle. Kelly back in the side. Terrific tackle. Wrenched into the turf from Amon. The intensity and the hunt after the football by the Hawks has been impressive. Amon spun around. Tackle lingered. Reed now trying to get involved. West Coast trying to respond. Ball pinballing around. Jeff just wanted it a bit more and was able to find it out too to Hardwick. Now to McDonald. The Hawks can go inside 50 against Scrubby on kick. And as far as Witherden, and he just goes off a step and bangs it as long as he can. He knocked it away. And here's Jack. Through to Impey. McDonald. Back for Jack. It's got 3 players everywhere. McKenzie wanting an option. It goes very wide. Kick was shallow from to Gunston. Rotham hoping to knock it away, but only as far as Watson. Impey. They've got extra numbers. McKenzie trying to feed it through. Watson goes back in again. The Eagles survive that foray forward and they'll hold it up.
Yeah, the first one went inside, but it should have gone skinny, and the second one went skinny side rather than to the off-ball side. They're just not getting that connection right at the moment, but they are threatening so much the Hawks.
Yo's kick smothered. They've lifted their tackle pressure though. The Eagles. Moore breaks free and gets more on the scoreboard. They've got 3-0.
Score from a stoppage, forward 50. Coaches hate these, Scully, because they're really defendable. They should be. Sam Mitchell very happy. It's a structural fail from the Eagles' behalf. Elliot Yo just tries to get it onto his foot. You can see that they're outnumbered. The Eagles. Harley Reid sort of standing off the back and a bit passive. That's a really great finish.
It's the pressure at the moment from Hawthorn that's impressive.
Just a couple of Eagles waiting though, weren't they? They weren't really hunting the ball, getting in there.
Centre-bout's just gone. You could just see Hawthorn are cracking in. They want to win the inside ball, the contest. That is the strength of the Eagles with Reid and Kelly back in the side. They want to own them here early. Got to start well on the road. They haven't been able to win away from Tassie or home, so they started well, Hawthorn.
Back in the middle, they'll win another clearance. The Hawks. Warple will just turn and thump it as long as he can inside 50. Sport came from Cole. Bouncing ball. Day kept it in front. Rojo tackled, stood up in it. Had it a long time. Did get a handball away, but got it too long.
I'm okay with that. If the umpires are going to be consistent that he had enough time, then you can play that one, but
Out wide. It was always going to be tough for Ryan opposed to Sicily.
just that first bubble at the moment, whether it's in around the contest, here's the hold of the ball. The umpire thought he had too much time to get rid of it. Did get the handball away, as you alluded to perhaps, but that bubble, that inside bubble, whether it's in the contest or at a stoppage like this one on the wing, they're just getting to the ball earlier, the Hawks. They're inside.
Down to the front. Kelly to Chris. Ball to the 50. Allen's got 2 to beat down there. Sicily couldn't mark. Looked it back through the legs. Weddle's got some problems. Taking the ground. And it's going to be a baller.
James Sicily's dropping off the highest West Coast forward. Oscar Allen had to roll up there. You can't allow James Sicily to dominate games, and I'll probably suggest for West Coast not to kick it anywhere where he is, because he's going well.
Knocked down to Ryan. He knew what he wanted to do, but he didn't quite have it. Now he's got it. Reid gave it to him. Back, up. Good spot. 2 on 2. Flyers go up. Weddle. Caught by Brockman. He's earning his pay. Brought back into the lineup a week ago after a club suspension. Fighting the fight. Allen went low. Not high. Ginnivan went in. Caught by Reid. Wrapped up, and he gives him a little extras. Puts a bit of mayo on top.
few words in the warm-up, Ginnivan and Reid, as they were walking off away from each other, two competitors. Looking to go at it here. Cripps dispossessed by Ginnivan in the tackle. Hardwick will hold it up.
Might have been asking who's got the better headband.
Liam Ryan and Harley Reid are the ones to watch these forward stoppages here. Liam Ryan was the one to go that time.
Williams and Meek. Williams to Flynn. Ruckman to Ruckman. Trying to get it back to Ryan. Well picked up by Kelly. Hooking ball to the hot spot, Jack. Going to both ends.
Just went to the footy, didn't he?
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup, that one, with he and Chester on that outside wing. At the moment, Jeff right on top.
Dylan did well, close to Hoff. Now Moore. And standing still, was up to take a bounce, straight up to Nash. Hawks moving it nicely. Across to McKenzie. Good transition from Hawthorn, high ball, but it didn't really favour Deer inside 50, and McGovern's able to intercept.
That was well called. It wasn't a good kick.
But he's such a quick mark. That's the difference. He reads it off the boot so early.
Yeah, he was 20 metres away, Jerry McGovern. He read the kick. Now, it wasn't the best kick, but he was still good enough to get it done in the one-on-one spot, wasn't he? I mean, intercept mark game's been pretty prolific this quarter. 6 to West Coast, 4 to the Hawks.
Flynn humps it and hope. Almost it is a mark to Williams. Pull it down, hands it off. Jones on the run. Inside kick is good. Brockman. Harley. Crowd rises every time he gets near it in anticipation of something spectacular. It's a beautiful sound.
A few extra through the turnstiles today. Harley Reid on his return. As the Hawks out of defence. Chol in the air. Sicily down low. Joel working hard again, able to get it out. And Cripps will put pressure on Sicily to see it out of play.
So the Eagles inside 50 there. They got the inside kick, but Allen had actually had a one-on-one and looped very well back to goal. Had an opportunity outside the open side. Just wonder if they can get the ball in a little quicker, the Eagles.
Government Barras, the leading disposal winners for West Coast. There was a bit of a tale of the domination the Hawks have had to get it inside 50. Reid with a strong tackle on Day.
That's been the improvement the last 10 minutes, I'd say, that the tackle pressure from West Coast, but also the ability to win a couple of clearances. They were getting smacked early, but starting to even that up.
Tackle count draws level after the Hawks were leading at 10-3 at one stage. Just a couple of minutes remaining in this first term. And all Hawthorn. Nash today loves to run and spread. Pokes the kick in short. Deer back for Day. The overlap run, they've got numbers. A little bit too much on the handball for Chol. Duggan tried to cut across but didn't take it out of play. Newcomb kept it alive. Warple had runners inside. Back to Chol. Continue to run. Clever footwork. Get him in the snap. Across the face. Moore was in the square. Great run from Chol, but again, wasted opportunity from Hawthorn in this first quarter.
I don't know if Sam Mitchell was saying a few first gives there, boys. There was maybe an opportunity to get that one out and then over to the no-brainer right in front of goal.
Will Day's run and quality. First time I've really seen that big impact from him. He's had 7 disposals in the first quarter.
It's a lot of players this year not want to take the goal kicking responsibility. Ginnivan's one that always takes it. With it, and you can bite off more than he can chew sometimes. Goes out wide.
That's on 5.
Cole.
Just a one-on-one down the line here. It's his only option long.
Look at it.
Govern. Defenders racking the ball up at the moment, aren't they?
That's on 5.
Eagles defenders that is going. A lot of it's been played in their forward half for the Hawks.
Defending well, Hawthorn.
Duggan, Cole, Hunt. Nicely moved to Yo. Round of applause again as he takes possession.
Tough week for the Yo family. There's a long ball to half forward. Darling. Back again at ground level. Jayden Hunt emerges with it. Across to Waterman. They were still searching for their first. It was just short of Jimmy. But couldn't take it on the half volley. Newcomb to D'Ambrosio. An important one-on-one. Ginnivan will be fleet of foot. Barras hunting after him. Ginnivan went boundary rather than keeping it in play, and it will be a boundary throw.
He worked really hard, Ginnivan, on that occasion to get Paul's side of Barras. Barras had a really good position on him. He had to work incredibly hard to get on the opposite side, so he gave his defender an option as he was coming out of the D50. Not a bad result, get out in the wing.
Lean straight down, but well read by Warple today. Chance late here for the Hawks. Nash to the 50, and McGovern, number 5. Another terrific intercept mark. He is on world record pace. Will we see a player crash through that 10 intercept mark barrier?
Well, he's on pace, certainly.
Turnover though. Could prove costly. Jaff to Ginnivan, trying to find an option off the outside of the boot. It was a clever kick to Moore.
Strange decision, I've got to say.
West Coast had sort of had players lagging after another turnover as they exit their own 50. We've seen a lot of that this quarter. I thought it was a pretty smart kick. Saw the option. Dylan Moore's a good kick at goal too.
After the siren at quarter time, the Hawks wanting to really cash in. They've had a lot of opportunities. In fact, it's no score in the end to finish the term. 3-2-20 the Hawks, but really dominated that opening quarter. It could be a lot further ahead. They've come to play away from home after their bias. Hawthorn leading by 17.
where Hawthorn have been more dominant than the scoreboard suggests. They lead West Coast by 17 points, but they had plenty of opportunities in that opening term. They're hunting a 5th straight win for the first time since 2018. Ginnivan, Jad, then more on the scoreboard. And Newcomb, the leading disposal getter for all sides, both sides there with 11. Matthew Pavlich, Will Schofield, geez, Hawthorn, they're doing a hell of a lot right. They just need to finish off their good work.
They certainly do, Kath, but what's been probably the concerning thing for West Coast at the moment is just their lack of intensity around the ball. The likes of Reid and Kelly back into the side, they've just hardly had any impact. So good to have the Hawks been around the ball. James Walker with 5 clearances in that first quarter. Newcomb, Day, Nash, and on the outside, Jath as well has been so crucial. But you're right, they haven't been able to really gap the game as yet from those 17 inside 50s. Only had 3 goals, 2, and they probably had a couple of missed opportunities, Sky, but concerns for Adam Simpson, but one player who's doing a good job at stopping the goals at least is that man on screen.
Well, he is. He's at 4 intercept marks, but it's 17 inside 50s to 8, so I'm not sure Hawthorn will be too worried about it. He's on world record pace right now. A lot of players have had 10 intercept marks in a game. No one 11, but they're going with 4. This is the intercept game, right? It's CJ on 3. Barris is at 2, and so is Sicily. So it's a trading spaces at the moment.
Back in the middle, final game of round 16. The bye rounds are over. The ladder's starting to tell the truth. It's the one and only time these two met this year, which might surprise a few given 16th and 18th from last year. Second term underway, and Ryan knows which way they're going. Out of the middle, which is nice. Heads inside 50. Jones on the fly.
Well, maybe isn't the message got out to the midfield group. Glenn Ryan was the one who we saw quite a bit last week against the Bombers into the midfield and sparking. Well, this is what he did as well. They've opened up a little bit through the front there. It's really well played from Ryan. Good craft in the midfield, gets it in long, and then it's quite simple. There's a contest, there's a front centre, and there's a goal.
You know what? Jones playing forward. He looks good in the back line, but the speed he showed then is why. They changed things pretty quickly in the middle. Glenn Ryan goes in there, gets the first clearance, and then Jermaine Jones showing the speed that they like him as a forward because of it.
First goal of the season for Jermaine Jones. He's going through a bit of injury as well. It's Bailey Williams starting his second term in the ruck. I'm going to get a bit of a different look in there, opposed to make ball knocked down. Warple in the clearance piece so far. Away to Newcomb, who's found plenty of it. Long kick in, Barris back with the flight. Tremendous.
Oh, just outstanding. Incredible courage. And then to execute it as well. Remarkable.
3 intercept marks. Barris, 4 already from McGovern. That's one of the best. As ball set forward by the Eagles. Sicily clean balls. Skills at the back. Newcomb has to retreat a long way. Way too far, in fact. It's out of bounds on the ball. Wouldn't hit the target. Trying to get out of defence, and it opens the opportunity for Jaden Hunt.
When he picked that ball up, he didn't have any other option really. He couldn't turn back the other side. He just had to hit the kick. And could have missed it.
Steps out. Always hit that one narrow. Just snuck it in for a behind.
That ball movement though, so Brass goes back, takes a really good mark. They play on quickly. There's a bit of run from behind. It's a different looking Eagles in this first minute or so.
More intent or needed to be.
Yeah, it did. They were just passive in that first quarter.
Sicily faked to go long, went short to aim on. Congested on that side, but he had to kick into the congestion. Hoff did okay, did well enough, he got it out. For a second, Ginnivan thought he was going to be able to pounce.
So you got Liam Ryan still in around that forward mix there. Eagles often sending a high half forward up to the stoppages, which is allowing a drop off for Hawthorn in that first quarter. Might just be playing 6 in front of the ball now.
Lynch took it out of the ruck. Did well to get a boot to it in the end. Day tackled by Ryan. Another stoppage.
Yeah, Tim Kelly's playing on the half forward flank here, and they're playing 5.5 forward of the footy. We got one a bit wider.
Hawks dominating the contested footy. Ryan's been busy, but just slipping over as he went to collect. Reid able to extract to Jaden Hunt. High kick. Waterman shoved out of it. Sicily, a tough opponent.
Joe Waterman's going at 3 contested marks a game this year, and to be able to do that just shows how good James Sicily is.
Nice to see Sicily play on Barras for a little while. Can we get that? D'Ambrosio inside. McDonald.
He used to be a forward, James Sicily.
That's a good point. Most good backmen were a forward at one stage.
Tom Barras was as a junior, wasn't he?
Amon gets it inside 50. Well, they're both there and they leave it in the end. They had a few options, the Eagles, but neither Barras nor McGovern went for it. Here's the run from Jones, maybe. He's got a panic if he wants to use it. No one comes at him. He goes inside with the kick. Nice into Duggan. What's he want to do? Couple of options inside, one outside. Stays in the corridor dangerously. Kelly knocked it back to him. Maybe his plan got 2 stats in the process. Sicily again. It's kick to kick.
They carry it around the key defenders. That's not 15, so quarter play on his impy. And a short ball to Warple, who's been busy. Now to McDonald. Happy to use their foot skills, the Hawks, to try and pick their way through. Eagles now back in numbers. All with a short lead. McDonald just lofts it forward for Joel! Astonishing grab. It was just elevated into the forward line and allowed the big Hawks forward to go to work.
There's actually, at first you thought that kick is way too high for your forwards, but what it didn't do is get McGovern and Barras in a position that they were comfortable. That is a great jump and leap at the footy.
You've got to put body on Mabior Chol. He loves to do that. If you're going to let him do that all day, he'll take speckies all day long, which is great. Love to see that.
He lost 2 across his last 4 games. Mabior Chol been in good form. And he leaves that one hanging out there and continues the trend for the Hawks of wasted opportunities.
Yeah, now 21 inside 50s for only 6 scoring shots and 3 goals. You just wonder, you can't keep this momentum up for this long and not actually put some damage on the scoreboard. The Eagles will fancy their chances to keep in this game and then come storming home.
Witherden got it from Duggan. Whittle went up and he was outmarked by Allen with ease. Out of the pause for Oscar. Second game back from long time out. 3rd game of this season. Juggled and just juggled before it went out by Duggan. Tight ropes the boundary and sends it long. Whittle floats in again from 3 deep. Williams outmarked them, didn't hold it long enough. Ginby, handball out. Newcomb's been busy. Meek likewise. McKenzie goes back, or thought about going back. Saw Darling there and thought better of it. Why wouldn't you? You turn around and Jack Darling stalking it. Lucky for the Hawks. Wasn't a free kick against. It's a ball in.
Point lead to the Hawks. Eagles with the only goal of the term. Meek working hard down to the front. Hawthorn's midfield controlling things. Good kick from Newcomb. Watson.
Yeah, they've been able to use the ball really well to about here, to the wing and half forward. The Hawks, it's just been that last kick or finishing piece.
Another high ball, looking for the leaping of Chol. Barras was up in the air. Gunston at ground level. Day. Ball at feet. Reed able to hack a kick forward under pressure. Whittle up to meet it. Went past Williams. Found the footy. It's it out to Meek. Now Ginnivan. In short for Day.
That was a great run by Day.
Right ball into the forward line again, but Day just goes with a short pass to Moore in the pocket.
It was a bit easy, that lead up, Sky. I could see your hands going up in the air. Handover wasn't there between, was it Rossum and McGovern perhaps?
Yeah, well, you watch the backs and when you play so much man to man, you've got to talk. And clearly no talk there between McGovern and Rossum.
He's going to feed it away and just not aware of the danger of the Eagles' defence. As Sicily had an obstructed run at it, but just couldn't finish from long range.
Well, he's starting to really impact this game. He's had 4 intercept marks. That's his 7th kick of the day. James Sicily, someone that West Coast may have to start putting some attention into.
Yeah, last year he had 43 possessions in a game against St Kilda with 21 intercept possessions among the 43. Here he is again on cue as we talk about him, Sicily. Do aim on, look over the head. Day. Got past Williams, got it to Newcomb, got a handle away just in time. Day, Nash, flicks over, crowd roaring, Rotham, caught. The Wizard, he was caught. No high on Watson, no high on Moore, backed out of it. McGovern fights the fight. Reed, getting their Day, got there ahead of him. Kept alive somehow. Was he out? Crowd thought he was. Umpire, more importantly, said no. Meek, Moore, Frost. About to pump it inside 50.
Only 3 Eagles players outside of the D50 right now. Maybe a couple more as the ball's transitioned a little further away from goal, but make it hard for the Hawks here.
Sicily wide into the pocket. Nate down there. Flynn able to get across and see it out.
Well, it was frantic footy, wasn't it? Sort of went all in and around everywhere other than the goals for the Hawks, but it's been a little bit of the story of the tape. All those disposals, they've had a lot more of the ball, but still not managing to kick goals and take advantage of this.
A stoppage inside 50 here. Flynn to the front. Nash's big body. Nudge Reed out of the way. Watson close to the boundary. Kept it alive. Gunston hooks back to the hot spot. Bouncing ball. Rotham has to take them on. The chase from Ginnivan, but the Eagles escape. Going up to Jones. Crowd urging them to go quickly. Cripps. Back for the run of Jones. Hopes the pass. Wide of Brockman. Sicily held up by Reed. Didn't get rid of it. That'll be a ball up. And the build-up was there, but it breaks down in the midfield.
Yeah, just a little bit where they break that first wall of defence from the Hawks.
Good tackle on Day and we'll get another stoppage.
You mentioned it before though, Pat, they have almost every player inside their own 50 West Coast. It's very difficult to go quickly when you're moving like that.
Yeah, the first kick in was the right one because they had no numbers ahead of the ball, but it's then just being slightly more patient, waiting a second or two.
Nash playing in front, Ginnivan. Position A, turns, goes. What's he going to create here? Heads to Watson. The right option, given Barris is about a foot and a half taller than him.
It's number 4 for Barris, intercept marks. We talked about McGovern in the first quarter.
Jimby. Kelly almost got the kick smothered and overcooked it. Looking for Cripps and found Weddle, who was looking like Tarzan in that jumper at the moment. Half ripped off his back. Back to Weddle. Frost, who's maybe going to go on one of those runs he doesn't. Scrimshaw. Possession fest. Amon.
And sloppy defence, isn't it, from West Coast right now? Scully, they're just numbers everywhere, the Hawks. Look at this.
Well, they're folding back West Coast. Hawthorn know it.
Sicily to Gunston. And now, a big flood back from every West Coast player. That's why he has to go wide to McDonald, who plays on. Jazz, what's Jazz want to do here?
And he's trying to draw him out. You can see there, look at all the blue and yellow in the screen inside D50.
Jazz just going to set it up high again. One out leap from Joel. It's Meek who separates the pack. The big ruckman splits them and will take the set shot.
This is on Tom Barras, this one, so we'll have to look at the replay. Harris wants a free kick. He put his arm in there pretty early, maybe a little nudge, but probably just got in the right spot there, Lloyd Meek, and goes up and takes the grab. Difficult to do that from in front as a defender. So Lloyd Meek gets in the best spot, puts his hands up and dukes it.
Played the 15 games for Fremantle. Back in WA. And he slides that one through for the Hawks.
Crucial to hit the scoreboard. They've had so much of the play. That's their 25th inside 50, only 11 for the Eagles. But they just haven't really been able to gap the game. Only still 18 points in it. Let's have a look. Scully. Barris takes the front position. Is there a shove there? Potentially, but the umpire was right there. That's good play from the big ruckman to drift forward, make it hard for the opposition, clunk it and kick a goal.
He did his hand there so early that I think when you do that, it's difficult to get that in the back free kick because he was in position early.
They're looking for that double action, aren't they?
Yep. Good goal. They needed it at Hawthorn because they've had real dominance and they need to kick a goal to take some of that advantage from the Eagles.
In the preferred ruck this year, Lloyd Meek ahead of Ned Rees because of that cross the line rule where you engage rather than run and jump as a ruck. Newcomb, clever, Moore. Can't be used it a bit better than that. A clean bowls Gunston and rolls its way to the boundary for a ball in.
That was a good leg break, wasn't it? Gunston.
Kinnaman getting some work done on the toe. Keep an eye on that. In the meantime, a nudge to the back of Flynn, good enough. Ryan. Allen, meeting the sandwich. We'll pick up from Yo and a splendid tackle in response by Scrimshaw holds him up.
They're really struggling in the centre clearance. So Elliot Yo's only got the 2 disposals. The Hawks are leading 6-1. Continue their dominance from the first quarter in around the ball.
So Yo get the free kick here, was being held on to. The hit out was won by Flynn. A lot of movement up the line. Just going to have to kick it long. It's hoping for Allen, who crouched in. Couldn't hang on to it though. Trying to take it from 3 deep. Aim on a dangerous kick to half back. Newcomb got good hands to it. McDonald's almost coughed it up. Flynn threw a boot at it. Gathered by Brockman. Lovely old kick inside 50. Oh, it's back there as Darling made significant contact with D'Ambrosio, who took it well under immense pressure.
That was a good contest for both players, wasn't it? It looked like it could have been worse than it was.
Darling not looking at the foot, he was just trying to make some contact. D'Ambrosio has advanced the footy again. Nash to Weddle. Finding a target inside 50. It was perfect. Off the boot. Watson's got it.
Yeah, that's the pass, isn't it? So we've seen a number of plays, particularly slow play this second term, where the Eagles have floated back, they've folded back, they've had numbers everywhere. But when you're in fast play, you can do exactly this. Lower the eyes. Hit it leading forward, get it over the top of McGovern. It's a great kick.
You see how quickly he drops off.
Yeah.
McGovern had dropped off very early there, and that kick was the only way to stop it.
Watson, Kirill forward. Wants some reward for effort with the finishing. Let's do the Hawks as a team so far through the game. Well wide. And another behind to Hawthorn.
5-16 now for Nick Watson in his career. He'll be on the 5-16 if he can't start kicking straight soon. McGovern. It's out wide. D'Ambrosio's recovered okay to compete here. Hunt. McDonald quickly gobbled him up and just rolled out.
Yeah, another example of locking it in your forward half. So they've turned it over, the Hawks, off the Eagles 14 times inside their forward half. There's just another example of getting a stoppage in your front half, making it challenging, just really keeping the ball out of a dangerous position.
Nash against Flynn that time, and ball not in the back from Kelly. But Nash doing the ruck work again against Matt Flynn, has the size advantage. Ball side of the boot, floats it a little. Contest in the middle, Jaff got the crumb. Wilson hasn't changed his jumper. Tarzan trying to get it to Warple. Yo, kick smothered. Back in the middle of all of them. Warple threw it away to Nash, to Newcomb. Couldn't quite find McKenzie. Jimby against the grain. Got it to Flynn. Harley at the front. Here they go. Brockman. Had Yo riding shotgun. Thumps it wide. Darling, was he held? You bet he was.
I think Hawthorn's backline's been really well organised. It's an undersized backline against a really tall forward line for West Coast. So Darling, Allen and Waterman, and then Bailey Williams as well. They're going to get some mismatches, and I think that's what that was. Jack Darling playing for the free kick there.
How much in that one, Scully?
No.
He has been pretty accurate this year. 17 goals, 9. Been pretty accurate his whole career. Doesn't work that back enough. It's on the goal thumps it through. So both teams missing massive chances to have more goals on the board.
Casually out of defence. To the wing. McGovern in front was being held. Give us a chance for a repeat inside 50.
You haven't seen many of these, have we? We talked about it earlier. Scully.
Govan sends it toward him, and D'Ambrosio drops back.
And it's well read. He's done it a couple of times, hasn't he? This quarter, D'Ambrosio. Great courage. Great positioning as well, just to be in that right spot. What was that, 50? Quite.
Very close to it, I would have thought.
D'Ambrosio's worked so hard this season for his new club. The second highest rated wingman in the competition behind Errol Goulden. There's a good tackle. This guy's trying to win possession back. Off. Orion. Waterman. Now releasing Jaden Hunt. Good chase from Watson. Long kick inside 50. Weddle was there. Hawks with numbers at ground level. Harder guy copped it straight back up to Harley Reid. Off a step. Across the face. Out on the foot.
A little bit rusty after 3 weeks of no footy. Harley Reid. That was probably the kick that needed to be taken, just not the execution.
Yeah, he's had 3 kicks, hasn't hit a target at this point in time. Still had a couple of clearances, he's been involved.
Jeff wide. Flynn with the reach. And the body position on Nash.
First time I've seen repeat inside 50s, this will be third in a row.
Bumps it long. Oh, to get the big rise and the big jump. You see if Nash continues to ruck here against Flynn to mismatch and need to get Meek back in there pretty quickly, you'd think.
Look at that, 11 marks inside 50, the Hawks to 0. That's the game right there in terms of the opportunity the Hawks have had. Should be much further in front right now.
This is just the one goal so far in the game. Last year, they held goalless in the second half as the Hawks had a dominant victory in Tasmania. Cripps to Reid, taken high. Impey throws the head back in frustration. It's Harley who draws the free kick and will take a set shot.
The reason Impey's got his head back in frustration is this is the same as we saw in the first quarter, a forward knowing this will be a free kick. It's poor technique in the end, Impey, and that's why he's throwing his head back. Throw that arm out, and the good forwards, whether they're young or old, they know where that's coming. That's going to be a free kick every day of the week.
Just about a month on the sidelines, 2 week suspension, and tackle against the Saints, and by in between, trying to give his side a lift. Made good contact, but it's at home. They've got 6 now for the Eagles. Just having a bit of field territory at the moment, West Coast.
Scrimshaw takes off. Heads wide, he put the kick wide to Sicily. Delightful delivery. Hits Sicily laced out on the run. Hardwick. Thought about going. Thought better of it. Chip kick is there. Jarman Impey, reliable. Every game again this season. Missed only one last year. And a great pickup from Port Adelaide. He sets it up for the Leapers. Gunston from 14. Good hands. And a couple of bodies to weave past, and in the end it was almost uncontested. And is he going to take responsibility here?
It looks like, I'm not sure he's got the journey like he perhaps once used to. Jack Gunston from this territory, you can see his eyes are darting, looking for maybe a short little hit up.
Yeah, you'd want to say switched on here as a West Coast backman.
And the eyes kind of tell you the tale. So he pulls the kick top of the square. Meeks down there. Gee, crashed at the ground. Kelly caught immediately. Reid flings it out. Jinby didn't have a look that he liked. He gave it to Hoff. Ryan hunted down by Sicily. Jack plays the tackle. Day gets it out. Ginnivan got a handle. Hoff caught one more. Witherden got it out. Bang, they're getting tackled left, right and centre. Reid a paddle. Kept it in front. Little shake, step on Ginnivan. Goes long to Waterman. 6. Been a rocky road to get there. But having the season of his life. After a couple of horrific health issues to get through. 36 goals, 15 this year coming into this one. There's a Coleman there for him if he's good enough. Deep breath. The roar will tell you. Massive roar. Don't they love him?
Well, can you believe it? West Coast get within 2 goals. They are 11 points down. This just feels like a Hawthorn game through and through, excuse me. Sam Mitchell, we saw him in the box. He was disappointed with this, and that's because they allowed a player out the back. They had West Coast covered. They brought good pressure. Harley Reid bursts out, good kick in the end, put Jake Waterman's advantage. Sam Frost free kick, but they're pretty good today though. I've been really impressed with the Hawthorn backline today. They've been well organised, haven't been beaten one-on-one too often. Look out if you're a KFC, billboard with the box.
He's delivered something of his own there, Sam Mitchell.
Go one of the Colonel.
The Colonel. Tell you what, he's not happy because they've had dominance and they find themselves only 2 goals clear.
Sam Mitchell get a bit hot and spicy as we continue.
Calm down.
Newcomb gets it out to Meek. He's touched off the boot. Ginnivan in front. Had to get the hands quickly. The Hawks wanting a fast response. Reid, Ginnivan lined him up. Took him to ground. Reid gets back to his feet with power despite the tackle. Ginnivan goes in again. Warple. Handball over his head. McKenzie to ground. Jimby tried the fend. Just got it out to Duggan. High ball. Not going to clear it. And Day. Chip it in short. Not 15 for Warple. Has to go. Turns. Smother. Knocked down. Hawks deny. Witherden's kick. Allen's there. Scrimshaw with a spoil. Allen has got runners if he could get it forward, but the Hawks have enough. Impey. Way to Amon. D'Ambrosio. Long ball over the top to Moore. Quick step past Duggan. Scoots in board and spots Watson. Well, the first part is done. The mark inside 50. The harder equation to solve. The finish coming up.
Gee, that was good from Moore. He knew the pressure was coming. Ball by Duggan. You can't let a player step inside like that because you get this. But just to know that heat was coming and coming hot, little get your feet organised, step inside. Beautiful play by Dylan Moore.
I'm behind so far today for Nick Watson. Other shots that have gone wayward. This is his best opportunity. An inside 50 directly in front. Highly touted draft pick from the Hawks. Hits that one a lot better. That'll lift the confidence as he tries to silence the crowd.
Oh, good on him. He's happy. He knows he hasn't kicked well this year as a young player for goal, but to get those sorts of goals, it was a goal that Hawthorn really need. I mean, they've been dying to take advantage of this dominance they've had in the game. This is the move I was talking about with Dylan Moore. Just watch this. Great step. Paul by Duggan. Comes back inside to his crafty forward. He goes back and kicks truly. He'd know that his record hasn't been great this year. Goes back and absolutely swats at Nick Watson, and a fair bit going on with the celebration as well. Don't think I can interpret that one, Dave.
Well, there was a little shush at the end. It's early for the shush. 17 points up. Half-time siren looming. Reid dragged down by McKenzie. Seconds are rolling. Cole goes back. Got it from Kelly. Ugly attempted a kick. Warple, Jaff. Can they get a mark on 50? Witherden tried to kill it. Danger though. Siren about to sound. Ryan got there in time. Half-time. Bright sunshine. Optus Stadium in Perth. The final game of round 16. Where's the ball? Would you rather be? And watching the footy on your lounge. Couple of teams going head to head. And it's been fiery. Hawthorn by 17 at half-time. 5-5 to 2-6.
Mitchell having a word to his side, who lead by 17 points at half-time here in Perth. Hawthorn gunning for a fifth straight win this afternoon. If they do that, that'll be the first time since 2018 for this Hawthorn Footy Club. Let's head into the newsroom now and join the Herald Sun's John Ralph. Ralphie, what an important win for Port Adelaide this afternoon. They just got it done over the Saints.
Thanks, Kath. Well, today was about so much more than the 4 premiership points for Ken Hinkley. It might have been about survival. So no wonder after that 2-point victory over St Kilda, he was so emotional. Here is Ken Hinkley with Sarah Jones, as you've never heard him before.
Well, I'm with a man who's been under enormous pressure the last couple of weeks and now can sit back, take a deep breath and enjoy it for a moment. Ken, how are you feeling?
Pretty hard. Been a tough week. Great boys. Great boys. I really like the fact that we're under the pump and we just stuck at it. It wasn't easy, but we got there in the end. And sometimes it feels like a bit like last year, and now I've got over that emotional little bit. It's a bit of sometimes, you know, we're 2 points from fourth. It felt like we're on the bottom of the ladder, and I get why. I really appreciate the fact that we've been playing poorly, but we're doing our best to keep it right.
Now, talk about missed chances for St Kilda Stars as Max King played perhaps the worst game of his career at the Saints. So a left foot snap around the corner for Jack Higgins there. At least he got scores level again. And then with a point down with 2.5 minutes left, unfortunately Jack's still unable to make the distance there, just like Logan McDonald yesterday. Then St Kilda desperately tried to find that single point to try and tie up scores again. The skipper was caught by Mitch Georgiadis. Free kick, game over. Georgiadis actually missed that shot from point blank range, but breathing space for Ken Hinkley. Now the AFL will tomorrow clarify the contentious calls from the Essendon and Geelong game that, well, Kyle Langford said today, left the Dons players confused and frustrated. So the AFL has shown us prepared to label these decisions as errors. I'm sure that Draper non-call will just be labelled as a mistake. But Ray Chamberlain, the senior umpire, said last week the umpires were told if it was a player within 2 or 3 metres, that was physical pressure. So I'm sure the AFL will come out tomorrow and say under that standard, he'd say that the Jai Menzies call was definitely not the correct decision. Now Essendon's opponent for Friday night, Collingwood, they will have a couple of their stars missing. John Noble will miss with concussion. Bo McCreary has a slight calf strain according to the club. Now Geelong has just signed up Tyson Stengel, their free agent, for 5 years. But Toby Conroy in a moon boot today, watching in the VFL after persistent foot issues across his career. So something to watch there, Kath. Never a dull moment in the AFL world.
Sure isn't. Appreciate it, Ralphie. It's been a beautiful winter's day here in Perth. Perfect conditions for our NAB Oz kickers. These kids are from all across regional Western Australia, from the Star Kick program, helping kids of all abilities play our beloved game. Second half action coming up next. Hospital.
to have your company. Bright sunshine still here in Perth. Both teams generating scoring opportunities but not finishing them so far. Two teams on the rise for Adam Simpson. The past two seasons, the West Coast have won 2 games and 3 games. Win today, it'll be a 4th win for Adam Simpson in his 11th season as coach. And for Sam Mitchell, they came into today 13th. 13th in 2022, 16th in 2023. So huge opportunity for the Hawks to rise with an 8th win this season today. Plenty of rounds left. It'll be 5 in a row if the Hawks can get the job done.
Second half imminent. Red's first game back after that 2-game suspension. We'll see unfold in the second half. I suspect whichever side can make the most of their opportunities. Go off their way to securing victory. 17 points the margin. Third quarter coming up. Here we go. It's Flynn against Meek in the middle. And we are underway in the second half. Meek with a good hit out. Straight down to Nash. Yo lays a tackle. Been a big week for the Yo family. Passing of Elliot's father earlier on in the week. Thoughts of his extended family. He was giving him all this week to decide whether he wanted to play or not. He wanted to get out there and get involved as he does here. Flynn's kick inside 50. Brojo, Sicily, or entry. Well, not the play. He wanted it to be sending it inside 50. That Brojo goes wide for Scrimshaw.
So no real change structurally by the looks. Scully, they had Reid, Kelly and Yo in the centre square bounce.
He's had it disrupted by Chesser, who didn't allow the easy mark, and then the tackle lingered on. Chesser didn't know it, it spilled free.
And that's been a big concern. 8-1, the Hawks were in that first half out of the centre and were really on top in the clearance battle, +9 at half-time. So plenty to work on from the Eagles' point of view, but it's only 17 points.
McGovern. Big plunk in the middle of the pack again.
That's number 5 for him. So if you can get these two players into the game, Elliot, you're a very quiet first half. We spoke about his incredibly challenging week, perhaps, but we started to find a little bit more of the ball early in this third term.
I will say on Yowie, he'll be exhausted. Been a big emotional week. Losing a parent like that, so it may work into the game, but I think they'll be happy with just competition from Yowie.
Alan Long, and a free kick will go the Eagles' way. And advantage will be taken by Darling. Bouncing ball to the square. Hawks holding on. D'Ambrosio tackle. Chess has got him. Sort of one of those ones where was there an advantage for West Coast to keep going on, or do you take it back to Waterman?
Looked like he took the advantage. Jack Darling wanted to kick the goal. Can probably just rush that in the end. I would have been watching last night.
There's been a few of those that players are a little bit unsure. D'Ambrosio's kick tumbling out of defence. Off. Hassled by Watson, but he stands up to it nicely. Then the kick smothered. And it will ricochet out of play.
I think Watson just giving the turf a bit of a scrub with his boot there. I think he fell over twice within about 2 seconds. It's definitely slippery on this side of the ground. Scoring, we're out there at half time. Jake Waterman's limping off. We'll get Kath onto that one. That does not look good.
Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on this turf. Looks a little better than last week, this week more. D'Ambrosio, Day, Nash, waits for contact, taken out, Campbell, nowhere near a target, but the umpire said insufficient intent.
As you see, Jake Waterman's gone straight down into the change rooms.
Thanks, Kath. Off. Sends it up long. Empty. Front of the pack does well. Takes the saving grab. Had his name written over it. Knew the pack was coming, but took it anyway. Scrimshaw down the line. Deere hasn't had a big say yet. Doesn't keep it in. Yeah, those ones at full back. Well, Scully, you're probably the right guy to ask, but inside 9 is normally the point where you can rush it, but the rule is written differently to the way Ray Chamberlain explained it last week. He said that you need pressure within 3 metres of you on the line.
Well,
you need a player within 3 metres.
Ray doesn't know what it is, and I definitely don't. One's the fullback, mate.
Well, Ray tried to clarify it, but hasn't clarified it for the players because they still don't know there's a player right on your hammer, you can rush it. Impey's got it here and he doesn't rush.
That's always the understanding I've had. If you've got pressure, you can rush it through.
That just has the 3 markers that they go off with those rush behinds. Barris spoiling the ball down and recovering. Way to Duggan. I'll update you on Jake Waterman when we can. It's going to be a big story. The Eagles' best forward off the ground as Scrimshaw takes it away. Impey, high ball, Hawks outnumber. Lloyd! It's Meek, not Matthew, who takes another mark inside 50.
Well, that was great positioning by Jack Dunstan. Really smart footy there as well.
An injury concern for both teams now, Kath. Again, we'll be onto it, but you're right. Good body use. Oscar Allen just looks like he's got his timing off, doesn't he? Only the one touch in the first half.
He went with the throw of the grass as well.
Pretty sure I saw Matthew Lloyd kicking for goal during the week, ended up on the floor.
So Flynn injured now too. It was a similar result to that one in country footy, I think, that we saw on social media. Another injury concern, Cap, for West Coast.
Yeah, Matt Flynn now in the hands of the physios. Jake Waterman still downstairs in the change rooms. Ryan Marrick, their sub, warming up now.
It's a lower leg, is it? It's an ankle, perhaps even a bone injury down there, that bottom half, yeah.
Yeah, he looks in a lot of pain, which makes it even worse to the eye. More. Inside kick, dangerous to Sicily, had to wait a second. Ryan was stalking him. Bullet pass. Watson, the little guy in there. Dumped away. Cripps tried to be clever, didn't work. Newcomb waited till he was swung around in the right direction. McDonald got it from Hardwick. Magnificent.
Let's highlight the good to begin with, because Jeremy Cripps will be regretting perhaps some of it. But great hands from the Hawks. We saw it a couple of times in the first quarter where they had opportunities for first gives. There's one, there's another, and a really nice finish from McDonald. But it was the ability just to give this one, really good one. First give again, and then a snap at goal. Find your teammate in a better position. Kick the goal. Not sure about that one's going.
The knock-on, tap-on footy is fine, middle of the ground, but D50, you've got to go and take it clean.
Yeah. Some injury concerns though. We see Matthew Flynn and that ankle.
Right ankle.
It went away, didn't it? Right over and put the hand up straight away.
Didn't look like his ankles were strapped. That's what the physio was checking on the bench. I'm not sure how players are not strapping their ankles at AFL level.
Jake Waterman off as well with what looked like a leg injury as Hawthorn win the footy back through the midfield. Jaff delayed the handball well to Warple. They build inside 50. It was over the head of Chol and just trailing in Hardwick.
Another player behind. The player's down. Jaff just getting up slowly after that contest in the middle. I think he's okay. It was a great delivery though, wasn't it? Another centre clearance, 9-1. The Hawks have just been so dominant out of there today.
Blake Hardwick, his name as a defender, he's been a prominent forward this season for the Hawks at times. Struck it beautifully, and in the blink of an eye, the Hawks open the game right up.
In my time underneath Sam Mitchell, one of his great strengths is strategy. And I think he would have come into this game knowing that Harley Reid, Tim Kelly, their strength is centre bounce when they're all firing. So I think they would have put a fair bit of time into this. Hawthorn clearly prepared 9-1. That's a huge advantage. And that's probably what they've done this quarter. They couldn't for the first half, is connect inside 50.
Yeah, it's been dominant display from the midfield group, and now they're actually hitting the scoreboard. But they've been smashed, the Eagles, around the ball. Absolutely smashed. And as the ruckman who was going down into the room, Flynn, just to get that ankle re-strapped, Kath.
Hawthorn also had their issues. Deer's gone off into the change room, so following up a few injuries here.
Yeah, it was the same incident where Flynn hurt himself. Cowshity got a knee to the rib, almost Darcy Moore to Petrarca style, and in the leap, lift the knee leap, attempt the ball. Darcy Moore got wits as well in that way yesterday. So there's been a few knee to rib cage the last couple of weeks. Slip pass is good to Watson. So Deer looks like being subbed out, by the way. Watson along. Charlie's target. Roland. And he raced for high contact and Hardwick fell for it as he fell for it.
West Coast under the pump to start his third quarter. Hawthorn just ramping the pressure up as they win the footy back. Morrison, the sub, into the game for Deer.
Yeah, it's hard to get the ball movement the Eagles want when you're just losing the territory battle like they are. Just getting smashed in around the contest. Plus 11 in the clearance. The Hawks, we talked about the centre square dominance with 9-1 out of there.
Really got their hands on the footy in this third quarter. It's Jaff. Not quite sure where to go. So a hit in hope into the forward pocket. Rotham almost. Kelly, Hoff, Reed trying to defend. Well tackled by Child, but enough to get the handball away. Witherden, straight up the middle, shot a lot of it to Frost. Darling cleverly able to knock it on. Scrimshaw. And after it was Cripps, McKenzie. Hawks just have numbers in support, it seems, at every context. And they'll try and take it out of defence. Weddle, long ball, Scrimshaw over the top. They've got Morrison waiting, and the run just continued from Weddle. He left the Eagles players behind and continued to surge up the ground. Now they get it to Chol. They try to pinpoint the pass. Big fist away. Cole put everything into that. McKenzie tackled, and we'll get a stoppage on 50.
No official word from West Coast yet, boys, but Ryan Marrick's just taken his top off on the bench, so it looks like they're going to activate their sub too.
Harry Morrison, the one change of selection for the Hawks is in. Warple into it. That's wide.
Great ruck working there from Lloyd Beck. Dwayne, he's hit outs to advantage have been superb today. He's been a real key to getting Warple the ball, who's had, what's that now, 10 clearances. So we keep harping on it, but it's been a great display.
Here's the injury to Jake Waterman. Anything specific there as he landed, but he came straight from the ground. The Hawks have trying to get the footy back. Impey twisting, turning, taken home. Free kick will come back to the Hawks. Crowd growing restless.
Well, they can't possess the footy at all. West Coast can't win it back. Hawthorn intensity too good, too well structured at the moment.
Impey got read high earlier on. That was the reverse. Weddle. Sicily steals that kick in the pocket. Hardwick's there, but Day in front at the height as they flew behind him.
They just want the ball in James Sicily's hands, don't they? Because that kick going in just was so well weighted, potentially to Joel, but then is that a free kick to Hoff? Is it to Witherden perhaps? But nonetheless, it was a great kick, and then Will Day drifted in.
Well, that's forced to just come up and grab it.
Yeah.
Really good penetration. It's not a lofted kick. It's really difficult to do anything about that as a back.
Witherden was trying to block Hardwick. It just allowed Day to float in front, take the mark. And misses away to the right-hand side. Hawthorn have been dominant, impressive right throughout the game. Just haven't quite finished as well as they could have.
McGovern. Dumps it wide. William has to go. He's now the ruckman. Darling comes up the lender hand, gathers and goes. Dumps it to a one-on-one. Ryan with a reach. Out muscle, Weddle. Fed it over the top. Ruckman, little dance step, but again the surface. Put him undone. Ryan back inside. Marrick's out there now, the sub. Outmarked by Jeff. First attempt.
Yeah, so Matt Flynn has been subbed off with that ankle injury. Waterman, it's a issue with the back of the knee, so we're just waiting for more on that.
There's Kath. Marrick injected early and Morrison injected early. The two subs. Hoff goes and gets. On the rebound quickly. Duggan with the set-up kick, about to send it inside 50.
Probably really wants this one. Davies screaming for it.
We'll skip up. The high ball, huge pack of players. Well from the side, knocked it down. Cripps waiting, dispossessed, holding the ball. And the Hawks want to take it and go. And this is where they can be so dangerous. Running in a wave. Nash got it from Warple. Gunston's out in space. They've got players streaking back towards goal. Morey's out the back. The long kick in. End-to-end stuff from the Hawks.
wonder how they get those players out. Well, it was a fast break from the back flank, but Jeremy McGovern left his man. And it was a handball over a couple of times. Smart footy from the Hawks.
Dylan Moore, hard running, been busy today, helps himself to another. The Hawks extend their lead. It's getting ugly for the home team.
That was the big tackle, wasn't it, that actually started it? So that's the transition from your D50 to your forward 50, but it starts with pressure. Here it is. Maybe Cripps almost a shot a goal. Amon's the one along with Weddle, and then they're out. And then they're out. So they played the advantage. A couple of come forwards there from West Coast. You can see they're chasing, but they just out. And so many options here. They could have waltzed in and continued to waltz in, but it's a nice finish to Moore, who does the rest.
Jack Gunston's played a smart game of footy. He's been matched up on McGovern and Barris, playing a really tactical role, but then used the ball really smartly as well. Dylan Moore always manages to find a way to pop up.
He's having a good go.
Yeah.
He's got his fitness and his speed back, Dylan Moore. Glandular fever in the off-season slowed him down a little. He's having another good year now. Bump from Warple. Upward of Williams, and then he jumped on it. The umpire to sort it out.
Just follow up from Hawthorn, they said that their sub move was more tactical. Yes, Dio did go off with that rib concern after copying a hit to the ribs, but he's okay. His sub was more tactical.
That's Gaff, wide ball, and clean bowls, Harley Reid and Weddle. Content, got a smile on his face. Ball assisted him in going out. He didn't have to drag it out. So see what Harley can do resting forward here.
37 points the margin. Hawthorn, so much more of the footy in this game. Ashes kicks, run it down. D'Ambrosio just got the handle away. Warple been busy. Weddle off a step, made good purchase. Oh, almost to mark, taken by Duggan. Even kicked his feet nicely. Hoff knocked it away. Duggan goes back in to try to take it. And it is out and over. A huge discrepancy in the possession numbers between the two sides.
Is it time to get that man into the midfield, Scully?
Yeah, I think just disposal numbers, but intensity across the ground. West Coast they haven't really had a moment in this game where you thought, oh, here they come at all. Hawthorn just dominant in that area of the game.
Cripps get a clearance here. Swings the ball half forward. Sicily in front. Ryan was waiting there. He was held. No, a free kick coming back to Walker. Sicily will take it.
I think it was a part of that first contest which caught him high. Fans not happy, but I think it was there. But you're right, it's been that lack of intent all day.
Now Weddle, run and dash and drive. Long ball inside 50. Options are plenty. And Charles got the footy.
Haggles up from Weddle, just put the burners on. You love to see that. I'm really impressed with the way he plays his footy. He wants to take it on and at the right times. He's not a blazing, take off all the time, but that was brilliant.
Charles step out and snap. Always near side.
Some players you see take the ball under the arm and just go willy-nilly. Josh Weddle does it at the right times.
16 marks inside 50 from their 40 entries, so just highlights the dominance because it's 0 for West Coast. They should be much further in front, the Hawks.
Big pack around this. Extracted on Brockman. Extra man behind the ball, the Hawks, but Ryan almost beat the three of them. Jack. Well, Morrison dropped into that high tackle. Umpire said it was high, even though he did drop, and Merrick pleads his case. And the noise of affirmation there from the crowd that it shouldn't have been a free. Make your mind up at home.
That's not a free kick. It's always pretty strong here, the noise of affirmation, though.
Yeah. But you can understand why players drop like that. People get a bit upset. Weddle, one paw, rakes it in, takes it to the line. Umpires have been under the hammer a bit this year. Harley Reid having the rest. The governor on the phone. Cripps with some rest time as well. And Williams about to do the ruck work, but no Flynn for the rest of the game. Nash, the second ruck for the Hawks against him. Jimby had it, lost it. Still a ton of time to get back into this contest, but they need someone to rise. The West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, you can see what they've done. They've got Ryan and Jones up around the stoppage. It looks like Chesser, the winger, is playing up around the ball and gone inside more. So they're trying to change the structure, just getting smashed.
Yo trying to get on the move. Ginnivan didn't have the footy. Yo didn't realise it. Held on with the free kick.
So it's obviously a move, Scurry, that they've said, well, we're getting pantsed around the ball. We're going to have to change something up.
Well, Jermaine Jones is that guy that has the speed and probably a point of difference to most of the other mids.
And then to Morrison, to McDonald.
Still haven't seen Jake Waterman down the bench. So a fair bit of activity down there still.
38-point lead to the Hawks. Sicily. Long kick, aggressive switch, but perfectly executed, and releases Impey forward of centre, long towards Charlie, reached up and plucked it out of the sky. Might have copped a poke of the eye for his troubles, but the switch kick from Sicily was just immensely beautiful to watch. He set his team into an attacking motion, and it's resulted in a set shot.
He might have just got a finger poke here. Went up and grabbed it with one hand. If you don't
Very
mind.
casual.
Looked like he was up there forever.
Jake Waterman back on the field now, boys, with a lot of strapping around that right knee.
Scaff, that's good news for West Coast.
You can see that last swipe, as he described it, from Tom Barris. Another mark inside 50.
Number 17.
We'll get a chance to talk about it more, but that kick from Sicily, just exceptional. Let's turn that defence into attack, into a goal for his team as Hawthorn continue their dominance.
Yeah, what Sicily did so well was you actually faked to go almost a backwards kick to his teammate. You watch his body's motioning towards, I'll kick it to those two out the back, and then just pulled the trigger inside. He knew he had the carry and the penetration in his leg. This opens up the whole ground, make it so easy for the forwards to lead into that space. It's a brilliant kick. And finally, the Hawks get reward for effort.
Sicily was always going to be someone that West Coast needed to curtail to be able to have an opportunity to win this game. They haven't done that. He's had 19 disposals and those sorts of kicks. Not many players in the league can do that. Show with your eyes, have the ability to kick 60 metres across the ground.
Darling the ruck, but Meek, the professional ruckman, beats him to it. Kelly wrapped up Newcomb. Secondary ball up in the middle.
Yeah, Lloyd Meek, 20 hit-outs and 10 to advantage. He's been a dominant ruckman on the field tonight.
5 goals in a row for Hawthorn. Margin getting almost beyond repair for the Eagles, but we've seen them come back a couple of times this year. Darling, Yo, bounce pass, got up to Duggan, tried to get it to Ryan, didn't quite work. McKenzie, Impey, Morrison, Jaff, danced his way past a couple. Made it tough. Raymond equal to the challenge. Full run. Eyes lighting up every time they get near it. McDonald heads wide again. The aggressive kick. Sicily put his boot out. Free kick. And he pleads his case as well, Harley Reid. Toby Green incident a few years ago changed the mindset and sort of changed the interpretation, but not for all. Impey.
That's okay. On the replay.
Yep.
Still having a chat. Sicily and Reid.
The competitors going at it. And 4 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Still having a chat, these two. It's great.
4 goals to 0 in this term. Hawks have put the foot down. They lead it by 44. Up towards a 50. Lloyd make again. Away to more. Burst of speed. Gunston can work the angles, but on the line, Jimmy.
He's had a good game, Lloyd Meek. Again, dominant in the air on that occasion, drifting forward, making Darling defend. Who's had to go into the ruck. We talked about that, didn't we? Given that Matt Flynn has gone off. So Williams, well, he's having a spell. Darling into the ruck.
With it and long out wide. Allen! More, please. Oscar Allen. The captain came back with a bit of rust on him, but he's hopefully going to work his way into the second half. They need him to. Hunt.
I'd like to see him higher, Oscar Allen, as we saw there, getting involved in the game though. We know that he hasn't played a lot of footy of late, but he needs to get involved.
Marek, he bites off the aggressive inside kick. Newcomb, Impey, runs off half back. D'Ambrosio, couple of options. He had more. Ginnivan, Impey runs. Ginnivan outside of the boot. Didn't work for him. It didn't quite work for Jones either. He maybe got one high. Crowd thought he did. But maybe put too much bail on it as well.
He's slipping into it, I think, and if there's any malice from anyone. I don't think he was hit high either.
Just slipping at the wrong moment. As the Hawks put pressure on again. Jimby snatching at it with it and try to shrug off. You've got to get it back to Jimby. Now he's got some support with it. Over the top for Cole. Now to Marek on the wing. Closed down by Sicily. Terrific tackle. And he goes down as well. Umpire tells him to get straight back up.
It's good umpiring. It's great play by James Sicily. G's been good today.
He's trying to milk the 50. Umpire not buying it. Morrison wide. Gunston there. Could spoil Barris. And Duggan taken over the line.
Here's the big tackle from James Sicily. They come forward to put pressure on. They just told young Marek what it's about. Tom Cole didn't like it. As you said, pretty well umpired there. He knew what was going on.
Slaps it forward. Kelly looking on Cole after it, bumped by Nash. Kelly in there. Kenzie over the top. He's on the ground. It's held in.
It's had no real influence, this midfield of West Coast all day.
No score in this quarter from the Eagles. It's the 23 inside 50s. Jimby. Newcomb trips us all over him. Ginnivan stole it away. Nash trying to find Hardwick. Moore was in there. Ginnivan emerges with it. Just pokes it off the left boot into the path. Gunston couldn't get there. And it's out of play.
They're so good in close, Hawthorn, and I think they're going to improve as they play more footy together as well. The tight hands are clean, they're fast, everyone knows them, everyone's on the same page as well. It's been impressive today.
You're spot on, Scully. They all have the chemistry with each other. Yo turned into a jam. Floats one out wide, race on. Getting their scrimshaw dragged down immediately. It's like a murmuration of a flock of birds. Hawthorn all seem to move in a pattern, knowing where each other is.
Murmuration.
It's cool. You can see them in the sky, those big flocks of birds. Blasts it towards Ryan territory when Marek made it his own, takes the mark on the wing. They've got a minute to play with here.
Sicily a bit sore there as well. Will be a shoulder out.
Coming from the ground. Have issues. Sicily, he's unhappy.
It's dislocated by the looks of it underneath that jumper.
So, what's been such a good afternoon for the Hawks?
Yeah, just got up and underneath. Had that situation before a couple of times with dodgy shoulders, and it's not. You know, you can see he's going straight down the rooms to have that pop back in.
Such a good afternoon for the Hawks. That's a real blow. And Sicily going from the ground. Under a minute to go in this third quarter. The Eagles haven't scored in this term. They'll try to find a way through here, but again, just the pressure. Not the direction though from the Eagles. McGovern chops it off again, and it's going to be 50. So this will result in a chance for a score. Just encroaching too close to the mark. He's doing more sliding past, and McGovern will be taken inside 50.
That's the only way they've looked like scoring, isn't it?
It's not really how you run on a whiteboard, is it? Don't have a shot on goal. Like, pretty poor efforts and poor handballs in close. You know, Hawthorn been so good in tight. West Coast, on the other hand, have played so poor. Yeah, and that is just like
Jeremy McGovern to line them up.
it shouldn't be 15.
Hasn't kicked too many goals of late. And it's tight, it's straightening, and it's there. They've been few and far between this afternoon, and it's taken their defender to go forward and kick a rear goal.
Eagles. They turned the ball over. Got lucky a bit here. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's certainly by the letter of the law, but it isn't interrupting the play whatsoever.
He's got his back to him. Like, that doesn't affect him.
And he's pointing to more, that was. This one did a fair bit left to right, but it is a goal. And, well, you wouldn't have thought so, but 39 points. At least it brings the margin back to within a target that they might think about doing a few things different in three-quarter time.
It's his second goal in 5 seasons, Jeremy McGovern. And we saw them come with a flurry a couple of weeks ago, the Eagles, in the last 2.
Absolutely, if they can find some momentum. They'd like to take some in the last 10 seconds here, but they won't. Hawthorn get the clearance. Off hands, Moore hunts it down, gets there in time. Ginnivan, he finds a target. They can have the last shot. Day floats in, crashes to the ground. Siren. Big collision. They've already lost a couple. Deer's out for the game. Sicily looks like he's dislocated his shoulder. They can ill afford to lose. Will Day, 9th game of the season after a pre-season foot injury. It's hampered him at the start of this year, and now also McGovern in the hands of trainers. Don't go anywhere. Big final turn to come from Optus Stadium. 39 points, the margin.
A mentor has the power to change someone's life.
Being a mentor is one of the most
one quarter to play in Sunday afternoon footy at Optus Stadium. Hawthorn's dominance now being more accurately reflected on the scoreboard. They lead West Coast by 39 points after nearly keeping the Eagles scoreless in that third term. Plenty of headaches for Adam Simpson. Thankfully for him and West Coast, Jeremy McGovern did kick one late. But plenty of concerns for both teams on the benches during that third quarter. The medical staff from both teams were very busy. The main concern for Hawthorn was James Sicily, as we saw late in that third quarter. His right shoulder popped out. This was the incident. He went straight down into the change rooms with the medical staff. Emerged a couple of minutes later, and he's taken part in the huddle here at three-quarter time. So it looks to be playing through the pain this afternoon, which is good news for Hawthorn because he has been superb, Matthew Pavlich and Will Schofield.
Yeah, he has been, and look, you can play through those, but it's just whether or not you want your captain and one of your key players out there. Leading by 40 points, that's a decision for the Hawks medical staff to talk about. Let's have a look at the transition, though, or the lack of run. Let's have a look at what they do. There's Reed, there's Hunt. Not really chasing all that hard, the Eagles, but it's brilliant transition from the Hawks. They are out everywhere here, and this has probably been the missing link for them today. They've been able to generally control the game in around the clearance, and the contested possessions have been dominant in those two areas. But the last kick in, or at least that transition, they've scored 40 points from their defensive half today, the Hawks. It has been a feature of their game, but realistically, it's a lack of effort from the Eagles so fast going.
Yeah. Final quarter underway, and Reed trying to get a clearance out of the centre, been few and far between. The clearances out of the middle for the Eagles, and that one intercepted with a good mark to Morrison.
Yeah, just their second for the day, the Eagles out of the centre versus 10.
Still no marks inside 50. That's both entries from West Coast and organisation from the Hawks back line.
12-4 line 2 for the Eagles. Wish we go to Reed. For number 17. Moves back from his return. Inside 50 they go. Morrison knock it down close to the boundary. Chesser just slipping over. Yo taking a ground, trying to find a way through, and it'll be a ball up.
More concerns for Hawthorn. Will Day's just headed down into the change room, so we'll keep you posted.
Thanks, Gaff. Concern for sure. Start. Will Day.
He was involved in that big contest just before three-quarter time, wasn't he, with Jeremy McGovern? Castle keep an eye on that for us, but he is a crucial player. Had a pretty good day as well out there. 19 disposals. He's elite by footers and he gets a hold of the ball.
Thank you, front. Williams doing the ruck work after Flynn was subbed out. Kelly. Free kick to go to the Hawks. They'll throw it out. They want to take the advantage, but we'll have to bring it back.
They haven't been strong enough in those situations. West Coast today, in tight, with pressure, coughed it up or turned it over, or free kicks against too often. And Hawthorn being very good.
I wonder how fit Tim Kelly is. Had a pretty quiet day on his return. Scully, you know, the club so well. He's had a number of issues with his hip and with his knee.
Yeah, but the thing is, coming into this game, externally at least, there's been high expectations. This is the best team that West Coast has put out there. Well, they certainly haven't played like it.
Harry Morrison must have been Hawthorn's best team. Game 96. Hoping to play game 100 before the end of the season, but he's on that selection borderline. Nash, Ginnivan tried something artistic, but it didn't quite work. Duggan, Chesser floats it towards Cripps. Weddle right with him, wearing him, and off he goes. Will he take him on one of those runs? He does! Dragged down by Chesser. There's like a rabbit crossing the freeway on one of those runs, Josh Weddle. You kind of know how it's going to end. But at least it's fun to watch. Up they fly. Jaff gets the crumb. Wide out run from Impey. Got a couple of options. Morgan get and go. We've got plenty of pit from the tank by the looks of things. Newcomb, who set this lead up with a big first half. Did Gunston over the top. Chol up. Front on contact freak.
Gee, I thought Tom Barracks might have done enough there. Looked at the footy late.
And 50.
He's obviously asked that question of the umpire as well.
Well, we might as well keep arguing now because you can't get another 50. You might as well get your money first.
It's telling me not to look at the big screen.
Now, we can't get 450s. And Charles probably got a ticket from where he was, so maybe the nouns and verbs were worth it. It'll be worth it for Marbior. It was inaccurate early, but he's starting to have a big day. He's got it cooking.
That was just horrific defensive transition running by West Coast. So the ball transitioned one side, it went in, and Hawthorn just moved it around the outside of the wing the entire time. Tom Barris is trying to play on three people back there. They still couldn't get anyone to help. That is just dreadful team running from West Coast.
It highlights what's happened for the majority of the day, just lack of intent, lack of effort from the Eagles.
An update from Kath Lockman.
Good news, Will Day is back on the field, so the Docs were just checking him after that collision you guys referred to at the end of the third quarter. He is not concussed, so free to play on.
Thanks, Kath. Lining up alongside Yo. Out of the middle, Reed. And he brushed off one, so he'll be holding the ball. And piling on top of the Hawks, three of them to bring him down. I think there are issues at both ends of the ground. West Coast, 0 marks inside 50. The worst result they've ever had for marks inside 50 is 1, which actually happened between these two teams last year in round 10. Beat by 116 down in Tassie. This one goes up to the 50. Gunston paid the mark. Kelly. Jones tries to give them some drive. Long ball up, Scrimshaw. Couldn't take it through the legs of Reed. Darling. Brockman. And we've got numbers stretching inside 50. Duggan wants to roll onto that left boot. They will get that mark inside 50. Their first one of the afternoon. Just 4 minutes into the final term as Oscar Allen marks on the chest.
It's been a quiet day for Oscar. This is his fourth disposal. We talked about the marks inside 50. He hasn't had a huge amount of supply. Even when he's been up the ground, just his timing, he's missed a lot of footy. Obviously been a little bit off, but finally they get a chance from a mark inside 50.
It's one goal to this point in the second half for the Eagles. As the result of a 50-metre penalty. This time they're able to get out the back. And Allen, just his second game back. Pushes it across the face.
Perhaps we shouldn't be so surprised, Scully, at how well Hawthorn have defended. I mean, we've talked about the inability of West Coast to really have intent with the ball, win it in their midfield area, but they've been the number one defensive team, the Hawks, the last 4 weeks. So, yes, they had the bye. Yes, there've been some questions of how they can do it away from home, but they've really, again, produced their best defensively today.
Getting overvolved this season. They lost their first 5 and with the trouble of having a horror year, and now they're stalking a spot in the top 8. Warple gets it back and goes. Joel the target. High contact against McGovern. Play on advantage. He deserves one, Jack. Dunstan to the Blues, gets it through.
We talked about it earlier. He has played a smart game of footy, Jack Gunston, this afternoon. Eventually hitting the scoreboard a couple of times, but he initially started the day. I'm not sure there's a huge amount of that free kick, by the way, but umpire thought it was, and then it was over the top to Gunston, but he played more of a defensive type of role at times on Tom Barris. He's been important, set up a number of goals. He's hit the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, definitely no free kick there, but no, we're not surprised, are we, with Hawthorn? They're close to the most informed side in the competition right now. 7 of the last 9, a couple of games in there they probably should have won as well. So this is a side that sits outside the top 8, but is moving.
You don't want to be playing them in the run home, I don't think.
How far can they go? The Hawks playing with excellent confidence, taking teams on, well organised. A good score on here as they'll just chain the footy out by hand and get it forward to McDonald. Now Day twisting, turning, tackle from Duggan. Must have just got a boot to it. And Sticker with a good chase. The fans a free kick. Gunston's taking the mark on the 50.
Doesn't have to be an effective kick when you get tackled.
Have to make some purchase, and then again pockets of space open up inside the defensive 50 of the Eagles, and Watson takes the mark.
There's really bad signs here, Scott. We've talked about it a couple of times, but this is almost, hey, it's too hard today for us, and we're just going to throw in the towel. The lack of chase and ability from the midfield group to hunt that ball to begin with. It's 12-2 now over the centre, and then perhaps you caught a pockets of space everywhere inside 50.
Watson on today from the pocket. And the snap that goes across the face. It's a big thing to say, Pat, that lack of effort and sort of giving up in the game.
Well, it seems that way.
You can see it. That's just what it looks like. I don't think it's off the mark observation. When West Coast have looked competitive, it's the effort, and there's little to none out there today.
Off with his losses, and there's, as you described, throwing the towel losses. Two almost completely different things. The crowd support's been awesome for the Eagles, despite a couple of horror seasons under Adam Simpson, who is a premiership coach. But the other side of the coin is Hawthorn's got it cooking well and truly right now, and the crowd are seeing a team that's maybe finals bound, as bizarre as it is to say about a team that lost its first 5 games. Walpole got it from Newcomb, slips the kick to McDonald, shakes off Cole, blasts it long, Charles out the back. Charles, Watson, Gunston, they all look at each other. Who wants it? Charles breaks past a couple. Ginnivan gets it, goes, and he's drop kicked that through. When was the last drop kick goal we saw? And he gives them the shush.
You want evidence of it? Perhaps it's right there. That was just way too easy from a stoppage at halfway on the ground, and then they just had numbers everywhere. They could have gone to about 3 or 4 players. Look at this. First give there, perhaps another first give. Look at all the blue and yellow jumpers just stopping there. Just on the top of the 50, just inside 50. Oh, drop kick goal from Ginnivan, and what a surprise, he's into the crowd. He's an entertainer.
Some people see that celebration and not be happy with it, but you've got to remember he's absolutely copying it all day from the crowd, and I think fair enough giving them the sure shot. I like that from the captain.
Rocking the headband, Jack Ginnivan. Looking like the Karate Kid, but opposition supporters think he's a little bit more Cobra Kai.
It's playing like that.
57 points to the margin. Gained about 5% in the game today. The Hawks, the high ball from the Eagles to half forward Marrick, under to knock it away. Empty through Nash, McDonald. Again, just run and support in numbers. It's been an impressive showing from Hawthorn. It's McKenzie to Wimpy. And today, good to see him back out there after that knock earlier on. 12 minutes to play in this one. 57 points. The Hawks lead. They've dominated it right from the start. Dave sends a high ball in. McGovern and Barrett spoil each other. Watson in the pack. Jimmy to Jaden Hunt. High ball, Allen.
If it wasn't for Tom Barris and Jeremy McGovern, this could be 100 points right now. They've been outstanding out back.
Waterman to Hoff. Back for Waterman. There is nobody inside 50 for the Eagles. So Waterman just has to chip it in short. Wait for Ryan, and then the overlap run from Allen, who works hard into the pocket.
It's probably the first poor defensive transition defence we've seen from Hawthorn. They had 4 players behind the footy then, folded back. They allowed West Coast to pick their way through. They'll be disappointed in that. Not disappointed in their holistic performance, but that one in particular probably be shown on not what to do.
The second mark inside 50, the Eagles. Both of them going to Oscar Allen in this turn. He snaps from the pocket. Always near side.
It's not always about possession, Scurry, but you look at the prime movers from West Coast. Jinby, 9 disposals. Yo, obviously had his challenges this week, incredible challenges out there playing. Only had the 9 disposals himself. Oscar Allen, one of the key movers, 6. Darling, 5. Just haven't had enough of their prime movers. Tim Kelly's only had 14 as well, so it's been a great display from the Hawks, but won the Eagles, I'm sure, lament.
MP pumps it into the congestion. Plenty of players fly. Yo stays down. Hits the Allen direction. Harwood tried to kill it. Scrimshaw. Darling. Nice move by Chesser. Went back to Ryan, who tried to feed the handle back to Chesser by lifting the ball above his head. Crowd screaming. They've stuck around, the West Coast Eagles fans, but they know they're watching another loss.
That pressure from Hawthorn, it's still there. And 10 minutes remaining in this one. They just kept coming, and you look up and there's 5 Hawthorn players around one West Coast.
Nash pinch hitting in the ruck again against Marrick. Sub who's on. McKenzie. Warple slapped it out. Little toe from Warple. Just wants to keep it rolling. In fact, they're a couple of goals away, Hawthorn, from jumping another ladder position. If they can score a couple more in the closing stages. The Wizard Watson's been good. Gave it to Moore. Options are plenty. Charles got away from Hoff. Got the kick wide. Day out of full forward. Has to pay that, the umpire. How long do you have to hold it these days? He had it for a day, did Day. And they still didn't pay it. A roll to Yo. Feeds it over the top. Scrimshaw gets it back. D'Ambrosio. McKenzie. Moore. McDonald. And they play that one.
Jeremy McGovern in trouble. A thumb on the wrist.
He's just throwing his body on the line all day, McGovern. He's been the Eagles' best player by a long way. Intercept mark, big spoils, body on the line sort of stuff. Few and far between. Here's this mark though. Did he hold it? Maybe not. Maybe not. But it looked like that, didn't it, at first glance?
Seen them played many a time.
Yeah.
Control. Yeah. Depends on who you barrack for, I suppose, as to whether that's a mark or not. But McDonald kicks the goal anyway, and they are stalking a higher ladder position with percentage.
Now we're getting Jeremy McGovern off, strap him up and probably leave him there. You've said it well, Pav. Without him, West Coast would have lost by 100, more than likely. Too easy for the whole day. This sort of play here, a give and get, and just the understanding of Hawthorn. They're all on the same page all of the time. Dylan Moore he's a great leader. He's a young leader too, but so smart.
Yeah, not for some inaccurate kicking. It's been a dominant display from the very first bounce. They've just dominated around the ball. They've been so sound behind the ball in terms of their defensive efforts, and then eventually they've been able to connect inside forward 50 as the game has gone. You can see what it means for them, though. They are a team on the rise this year.
They're ringing everyone to tell them just how good they're going right now, the Hawks. As they get it out of the middle again with dominance from the centre. McDonald sends a high ball in. Well-directed kick just wide, though, of Gunston. Harris trying to corral. Gunston with time. McKenzie. The spoil from Red came too late. McKenzie, another set shot. Right, coming up for the Hawks.
I didn't see if McKenzie was in the centre bounce or not, but he's certainly a midfielder that's coming down, and that's exactly what we're talking about with the work rate.
There's just been lack of effort. Full stop all day. Lack of intent to begin, and then a lack of effort to chase and actually really want to defend properly.
And McKenzie. Young guns on his Hawks side. Second season. Lining them up. It's tight, but it is there. They're kicking goals for fun now, the Hawks.
Had a huge last quarter, the Hawks. It's been a very impressive finish to this game. 5 goals won from their 9 inside 50s, as we talked about. Finally getting some reward for their effort. Jack Gunston, not the first time he's done this today, centred the ball to a player in a better position. A couple of midfielders there, trailing in behind. Smart play, Ben is such a wonderful player. Smart ball use. It's a good run from the Hawks, and it's a good finish.
With 8 minutes to go in this one, this is turning into an important percentage game for Hawthorn, because it's going to matter for them to make their way up the ladder. They're going to need a big blowout win like this, and they've got a chance to keep putting goals on the board here.
And in a season where, you know, Geelong started so well, Melbourne had their patches, and Port, you know, up and down, you just need momentum at the right time of the year, and the Hawks have it right at the moment.
Reid, Kelly going back to go forward. Jones, Witherden, kicked 10 of the last 11 goals. Hawthorn, Jones out wide, finds Hunt. West Coast did not lead in this game at any stage. It's been all Hawthorn since essentially the opening bounce they've led. Skittles a few, Scrimshaw tracked it. D'Ambrosio, another good afternoon at the office for him. It's been a really good pickup. 2-year deal they offered him to get him away from Essendon, and what a great idea that was. Crowd roaring, getting a free kick. Witherden, Jones. It's wide. Nicely delivered from Williams out of the square.
Yeah, Williams is a part of this tall forward line for West Coast, and when they don't get the midfield dominance, West Coast, or even a competitive effort, having a tall forward line they have, a lot of them at the bottom of the stat sheet, aren't they? Bailey Williams, Jack Darling, Oscar Allen, all haven't really impacted the game.
And it plays into the other team's opportunity to bounce out of their D50.
Hawks have kicked the last 5 goals. That'll work back, but not enough.
McGovern getting patched up. Injured in that marking contest earlier with Will Day, the Hawks to half back. 6 minutes to go. It's a 67-point margin. Eagles fans still showing up, 49,454 today, but the seats looking a little emptier as we get towards the end. Cole crashes through and held up. Scully have West Coast thought these types of performances at home were behind them. They've had some bad ones on the road, but at home their form had been pretty good.
It's difficult to put down what the issue's been today, other than lack of effort and competitiveness, which is what every team tries to build their game on.
D'Ambrosio, again, just 3 players, long ball, and with it and takes a good mark defensively. Jaden Hunt. Short to Duggan.
They've done this well today, Hawthorn. They slow the ball movement up. They've turned themselves into a really good defensive side. You look at the ground right now, they're playing zone. You can see it. No one's running around on a man, and it forces this sort of a kick to a contest.
Hawks. Newcomb coughs it up. Reid to Ryan. They can get at the back here after the turnover, and Williams will mark, can play on. Could have given the handball. Finishes it himself though. Bailey Williams kicks a much belated goal.
We haven't seen much of this today, have we? Turnover in the Eagles' front half, them players out everywhere. It's probably been the concern. You talked about it, Snowy, is like, you know, why has it happened today, given when all the talk has been, well, we've got one of our best teams back in on paper. Just haven't been able to deliver at all, have they?
No, they haven't, and that was a turnover goal. So Hawthorn slow the ball movement down, and there's a turnover and out the back. Well, we've seen that a lot from Hawthorn today, haven't we? West Coast also haven't really seen a lot of changes from West Coast, from whether or not that's because they don't have the ability to, or changing game plan, or Hawthorn have just been too good. That's another thing that we haven't really seen much change today.
Williams and Meek knocked down in the Reid Walpole direction. Morrison again. Valuable possession, playing for his footy life. Good attack. Barris takes him on. Quickly delivers. Duggan, great commitment. Got there in front of D'Ambrosio, heads out wide. Marrick, another of those playing for his footy life, has picked one that mid-season draft last season when he was stocking supermarket shelves in Drouin in Country Victoria. Came on as the sub in this one. It's a stronger West Coast team than we've seen for quite a while, but they haven't delivered. 61 down.
Duggan on the boot. A high ball into the pocket. Just Hawthorn players down there protecting it for Weddle to be able to intercept and a run out of defence. His dash always so impressive. Made it a little tough for Impey to aim on. They just walk their way through again, the Hawks. The chain of handballs, and they go all the way up past the wing. Now the kick to half forward and more.
That was such good work, right, by Dylan Moore. He ran 100 metres for that ball.
Joel wants the kick to go in deep. Looking for an option. He's going to send it that way now. Barris down there. Joel with a reach. Off hands. Rotham. Bang. Crunched into Ginnivan. And there's a little rattle after the hit, and here's Kelly. He's able to take them up. Now he's called to play on. He goes almost wrapped up. Cripps back to Jones with some run and dash, and then he runs into trouble. We've got the handball away. Eagles doing it the hard way, as they have for much of the afternoon, and we get a stoppage.
Almost get the feeling both teams will be content to hear the siren now. They've lost a few today with injury, the Hawks. Ginnivan hobbling. Sicily's got the shoulder issue, but hopefully is okay. McKenzie goes back. Hardwick, little nudge after he got rid of it, so advantage if Morrison wants to take it, and he does. Warple. 28 possessions for the Warpedo today. More. And another great day. Possession 28 for him. Overcooked a little. Hunt. To make it tough for Rotham. And drop out of a tackle. Back to Hunt. There you go. You can have it back. You gave it to me in the spot of bother. You can put out your own fight. Ball in.
Don't think we've seen much of James Sicily tonight. Kath?
No, he spent the whole fourth quarter on the bench. Hawthorn told me at the start of the term that they were just going to wait and see how this quarter unfolded, and obviously it's not worth the risk given the margin on the scoreboard, and they play Geelong in Geelong next week, so big game.
Yeah, huge game. The Hawks in some excellent form. And the Hawks will have their fingers crossed on the fitness of James Sicily with that shoulder for next week.
James Warple on the screen there, you mentioned him, Dwayne. 11 clearances today. He's been phenomenal at the coalface.
Make the hit out. No, tackled strongly.
Yeah, it's been the work of himself, Nash, Day, Newcomb, just their clearance work and contested work in the right from the word go. You could just see it looked different between what the yellow jumper was doing versus what the blue jumper was doing. It's just so stark, the difference in attitude and intent.
Yo. High ball. Now Scrimshaw in front. Good work by D'Ambrosio. Back for Scrimshaw. Kick for McDonald. Just trying to step around Cole. Put onto his left boot. Then Newcomb. High tackle it was. He tried to fend off. Explained by the umpire. Just controlled the territory. Controlled the footy, and again, Hawthorn players all alone at the 50. Nash. Players have stopped to a walk.
Well, they have. They'll probably try and connect again here.
Nash called to go. And Chol calls for a high. Barris will intercept another. His 6th intercept mark.
Without him and Jerry McGovern, quite honestly, this could have been well over the margin it is right now.
Eagles out of defence. Hawks on track for their biggest win at this venue. It's the last 5 matches here. As Reid goes wide. Allen couldn't take it. Scrimshaw. Through the middle of the ground they go. Margin at 61. The Hawks want to add another before the final siren. For Ginnivan. Barris attacked it. You'll get a free kick for a hole. Get closer to the finish line. Duggan with the 28 disposals for West Coast, their best. Newcomb 33. Reed and McGovern, the other Eagles players over 20. Disposal count, 426 for Hawthorn, just 275 for the Eagles. A massive discrepancy.
They've kept the side to 4 goals on their home deck. And what we thought was going to be a competitive game.
They only kicked 4 goals against the Hawks last year too, when they were beaten by 116 points. Yo takes the mark. It's been a tough day for the home side. A horror show at home for the Eagles as Hawthorn continue their run and make it 5 in a row to keep their finals hopes alive. Biggest ever win at Optus Stadium, eclipsing a 59-point margin back in 2018. They have completely turned their season around since they dropped their first 5 at the start of the season. So they're now one of the teams that are so difficult to beat, well structured, well organised, and have got winning form.
Yeah, they are, and just really impressive in person, seeing how they're organised both around the ground defensively. We knew that they were a good defensive side over the last 6 weeks, but seeing how they do it, it's through structure and it's through communication and connection. So they're on the same page across the ground defensively. At stoppage, they're well organised, they're led well, and then that brings intensity as well. So intensity follows that, and they're a really difficult side to play against. It doesn't matter where they're playing right now, they're a very difficult side to beat.
Let's get down to Hawthorn.
Got the skipper alongside me, James. Congratulations. Firstly, how's that shoulder?
It's feeling right now. It was a bit sore at the start, a bit innocuous, but obviously not really sure what to make of it yet, so deal with that tomorrow. But yeah, really enjoyed the effort of the boys today.
What was the chat at 3/4 time? Was there a chance you might come back on in that 4th quarter, or?
It really depended on if they kicked the first 2 goals or not. Then it would have been only a 4-goal game, so wasn't to be. So I just sat there and just watched the boys and finished off their good work.
Gee, you must have been happy watching on. What were you and the coach discussing in that final quarter as you saw the team put this game to bed?
Really happy with that pressure and our ability to press and stick tackles. That's the sort of stuff that we wanted to focus on going into the game, and then just being predictable, trying to score from that. But I loved the defensive intent today, and the pressure and the press.
And gee, how impressed were you by your mids as well, because they really set the tone and dominated clearances, and particularly against this Eagles midfield?
Yeah, no, they're a very mature midfield, the Eagles, and we knew we were going to be up for it, but our mids have been in great form this year, and it's a real reason to why we're doing so well is their ability to win clearance, and then on the back of that, when you win clearance, you get time in front half, and it's really hard for teams to score when you're able to keep the ball in your front half. So yeah, they've done a huge effort, huge job.
Geez, the season's longer than ever nowadays. Do you feel as if you're timing your run to perfection? I mean, you guys are in such great form now and really setting yourselves up for the back end of the season.
Yeah, it's exciting. I know it's really close from anywhere from like 4th to 13th is like a game and a half, 2 games difference. So yeah, we're really happy with the way we're going right now, but it's always important to stay focused and present in what's important for us, and really happy with the way we went about it. And it's always nice to think about what could be, but you've got to stay in the present and focus on what we value.
1 week at a time, that's it. And next week it's Geelong in Geelong. How much are you licking your lips at that contest and hopefully to be part of it?
Yeah, well, we haven't played there. I don't know, I can't remember the last time we played there in a home and away season, but they had a really good win against Essendon, who were top 4, so they've started to hit their straps a little bit. So yeah, exciting, good challenge, like we want to be versing those teams that are in the top 6 and see how we go. So yeah, looking forward to it.
All the best with that shoulder. Well done today.
Thanks.
Another big win to the Hawks. It's always a concern when you have a bye that you lose momentum, but no problems for the Hawks. They travel to Perth, they get the points over West Coast, and they continue to give themselves a sneaky chance of scrambling into the 8. That's the end of round 16. Now we get to sit back, relax, have a bit of a laugh as the boys get into bounce.
Very good.